Hello and welcome to Tap to Know More. Tap to Know More is an information and business oriented podcast. Here we talk about random business case studies, technology, business plan analysis, and much more. I am Shivansh, currently working on multiple startups in the pet care space. Along with us, we have Sauransh. Sauransh, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So hi guys, I'm Saransh and I'm also working on pretty much startups from the edtech domain. I'm working in some internships as well, and even I love analyzing business models. And I'm just I just love diving into business and tech. So like one day I and Shivansh were talking on LinkedIn, and so that the idea, Shivansh reached out to me. Okay, so Saransh, I've got this idea, tap to know more, and would you be joining this? And let's start a podcast together and let's talk about business and tech. So I love this idea very much. And on the first day, I was pretty much busy on that day. I was working on my startup. I asked Shivansh, if you can give me a one day to think about it. And on the second day, I was like, come on, man, let's do it. This is one thing that even I wanted to do from the last couple of years. But now, yes, guys, we are here. We have to do more, and we'll be talking about business models. We'll talk about tech. We'll talk about everything from the startup world every week. So stay tuned with us.
Thank you, Sauransh. Without any further ado, let's just get into it. Today, we are talking about our upcoming player in the Insta food delivery space, Zomato, coming up with 10-minute food delivery. Back in 2021 November, Zomato came up with their IPO at a listing price of around 76 rupees at a valuation of $12 billion. The IPO has not done so well in the last few months, and Zomato is doing all it can to recover its losses. One such strategy to cope up with the losses is the new Insta food delivery space. So let's get right to the basic of the issue. How Zomato currently works in 30 to 40-minute delivery space. Saransh, why don't you take us a bit through how Zomato currently works and a bit about their history as well?
Yeah, sure. So first I'll start with the history of Zomato. Most of us know it. I'll just wrap it up in 2-3 minutes. So Zomato was founded by Dipinder Goyal and Pankaj Chadha, two IIT Delhi graduates in 2008. Till November 2010, Zomato was known as Foodie Bay. I guess most of us would know that. Okay, so the idea is once they saw their colleagues who were seeking menus of different restaurants to order food, and the thought of converting these manual menus, this was very hassling to just go out from office and see menus of different restaurants and all that. To remove that hassle, they thought to convert it into a digital format. So then they worked on it for 3-4 years. They created an app, created a website initially, though. Then they jumped on the app. They were only for the initial years, they were only doing digital menus, and they were tying up with restaurants, advertising for them. But in 2012, Zomato had spread its wing across the globe and started to list out a number of restaurants in the market from various countries. Now, if we talk about, Zomato has made its feet very strong and is now present in more than 22 countries with more than 1 million restaurants globally. And Zomato receives around over 1 million orders daily. So that's a huge number. So what are the features, on Zomato right now? Users can share reviews, give their opinions, and it enables users to create stories based on food experience. This initiative makes Zomato more social. So the Zomato's user-friendly app model is one of the reasons why people prefer Zomato over other companies. I just talk about some of the major funding rounds of Zomato. So initially in 2010 to 2013, Zomato raised approximately $16 million from InfoEdge India. And then in November 2013, it raised an additional $37 million round from Sequoia Capital and InfoEdge India. And then in October 2018, it raised $210 million from Alibaba, which valued Zomato at around $2 billion. In February 2021, Zomato raised over $250 million from 5 investors. One was Tiger Global Management, and this round was valued at a valuation of $5.4 billion. Okay, so I'll now jump on how Zomato works in the 30-40 delivery space right now. So I'll just briefly divide all of this procedure into 5 steps. So the step 1 is that once a user logs into the app, they can explore various restaurants and order meal. Let's say the user has ordered a meal. Then what happens is the app notifies the restaurant about the articles that have been ordered from a particular place by a particular person. They receive an order and they start preparing the meal. Once the food is prepared, it is ready to dispatch. Then it is handed over to the delivery providers. The delivery providers obviously deliver the meal to the customer to the preferred location that the app shows to them. And then the last step is the payment. Obviously, customers can make payments and share reviews based on their experience. Various payment methods include cash on delivery, all the bank payments, payments from other third-party apps like Paytm, etc. So this is how Zomato has been working from last couple of years. And this particular model takes around 30, 40, or maybe 50 minutes to deliver food items from a particular restaurant to your house. I'll just wrap it up by explaining you guys about how Zomato earns money. So Zomato, there are various verticals in how Zomato makes money. First is definitely from the delivery charges, and that delivery charge is a dual way thing. It charges 20%, or I guess it can be down to at least 5% as well, commissions from the restaurants. Apart from it, Zomato charges a minimum charge of 20 to 40 to 50 rupees from the users ordering a meal. The second vertical is through the sponsored advertisements. The advertising policy for restaurants who wants to maximize their customers pay a subscription fee to to Zomato, and it is this you'll be shocked to hear this. The sponsored advertisement vertical is about 70% of the total revenue that is made by Zomato. And the third thing is the Zomato subscription, which is where restaurants Zomato charges the restaurants to share the data of users, so that the restaurants get a good information about what food articles do they need to prepare in how much quantity, and all of that information is that information which is accessed by the restaurants, they pay for it to Zomato. The fourth is the Zomato cloud kitchens. The fifth is Zomato events that happen all around the year. So these were some of the verticals on how Zomato earns money.
So that seems like about how Zomato works in the 30 to 40-minute delivery space. Now moving to how Blinkit and Zepto came up with their instant grocery delivery segment. So a bit about it, Zepto and Blinkit are two brands which are basically working towards instant grocery delivery in like 15 to 20 minutes all around India, in major cities like Gurgaon, Mumbai, Bangalore, and many more. So how Zepto and Blinkit does it? So Blinkit and Zepto have set up various dark stores, which are dark stores and warehouses all around the city, and major articles and major grocery articles are actually kept in the dark stores, through which are delivered at a very fast pace. They actually have a target of 5 to 7 minutes to actually pack and deliver the item to the grocery delivery guy, and the grocery delivery guy has a time of around 10 to 7 minutes to actually deliver it to our favorite people and our customers. So how does Zomato actually aim to do the similar instant delivery segment in the food space? So Ranch, why don't you take us through that?
Yeah, sure. I would love that. So in case of Blinkit and Zepto, the articles there that these guys are delivering is the packed items. They may be food ration items, they may be stationary items, these can be vegetables, these can be fruits, these can be juices. Most of the items are packed, right? But in case of food, it's very difficult. So how does Zomato aim to accomplish this mission of 10-minute food delivery? Is they already have data, as I mentioned before. The data is so important that Zomato would already know that on a particular day, on a particular location, at a particular time, this user or this particular zone would be ordering this food. So this data, with the help of this data, Zomato would be already knowing around 30 to 40 food items from a particular 5-kilometer radius, wherein these items would be delivered, would be ordered each week. So Zomato would be asking the restaurants to supply these the pre-mades of these food items to their dark stores, and then as soon as Zomato gets the orders, they would be preparing these food items under 10 minutes as they are already pre-made. Then the logistics team would be delivering it under 10 minutes to your houses. So that's how that's how differently Zomato would be working from Blinkit and Zepto's business model.
So let's talk about the possible opportunities and threats in this space. So the biggest opportunity is Zomato as a first mover advantage. Zomato is already has a basic monopoly in the market, or a duopoly as we say with Swiggy. But in the market, there would be a basic monopoly of Zomato if they actually set the dark stores and the assembly stations up. As a few dark stores and assembly stations have already been set up in various places in Gurgaon, the competitors will have to think a lot about what the next steps are going to be. As Zomato already has the dark stores and the assembly stations and has the logistics which are needed to be after the acquisition of Blinkit in January 2022. And the market is insanely large. Food being a necessity, everyone needs food. And Zomato has already been the crowd favorite since many, many years. And with this sure would attract multiple new customers and would be a treat to the old customers as well. Coming to the threats, Zomato has seen multiple controversies on how pressurized the drivers would be to deliver the food in next 10 minutes or even less than that. Further, there is a lot of buzz around if this product is actually needed in the market or not. Can't a human actually wait for 30 minutes instead of 10 to actually get their food? We all don't know for sure. We are yet to find out what Zomato does to this. Now moving to next, we have a brief about what is going on with the competition. So Haransh, why don't you talk a bit about the competition?
Yeah. So if we talk about the competition, as Shivansh already mentioned, there is definitely a first mover advantage to Zomato. But if we talk about some competition that is already doing this, is Woosh Delivery, who the company is working in Bangalore, wherein they deliver food articles under under 15-20 minutes, and these like they don't have a full large menu as Zomato would be offering, because they are only delivering some food articles like dosa, idli, and some related food articles. So they already know that they have already presented this a list of food articles, and the users can order only these items, not you can order from any cuisine. So that's how the competition is working on right now. But I think as Zomato is jumping into it, no, I think no, not other companies would be risking, and they're waiting for how Zomato, how far Zomato goes with this pilot program that they're working on, and how this experiment goes on. And now we can talk about why, like, what are the reasons Zomato is doing this. So I would why not, Shivansh, you explain this point to everybody.
Yeah, sure. So recently after the IPO, the month-on-month growth Zomato has seen has slowed down due to a lot of people switching to competitors like Swiggy and others. And after seeing a lot of success in companies in the instant delivery space and the recent acquisition of Blinkit by Zomato, Zomato has realized the value add in delivering the instant food delivery would be much higher than in grocery delivery space, because obviously considering the amount of competitors the grocery delivery space has, and somebody recently pointed out on Twitter, you order food when you are hungry and not 40 minutes before you are hungry. So that is a major aspect Zomato is considering, along with it actually boosting its growth, which has actually slowed down in the last few months. So now we should actually move to the next segment of the podcast. What is the controversy behind it?
So the controversy behind this, as Twitter has taken toll of it, is there are 2-3 layers to it. The first that we had already discussed is how difficult it would be to the logistics team delivering the food articles in just 10 minutes. It has already been seen in the case of Blinkit and Zepto that these this puts a lot of pressure on the logistics team. And the second thing is, as we're not talking about the packed articles, but we're talking about food that is being freshly made, the concern of most of the people is that under 10 minutes how food can be prepared, because if you talk about the Indian food culture, Indian food is fundamentally based on slow cooking process. If we talk about the art of cooking, so how can a biryani be cooked under 10 minutes for that matter? How can North Indian gravies, how can non-veg articles can be cooked under just 10 minutes? So that is one concern by the people. And as I mentioned before, Zomato would be solving this problem by getting the food half done already, and as soon as they receive orders for the particular articles, they would be making them just cooking them completely and then delivering it under 10 minutes. But concern regarding this as well posed by people is that whether the quality of the food would be that good, which is definitely under 30-40 minutes, because there has been concerns already from the last couple of years that whether the delivery food is of supreme quality, as we experienced that in the restaurants. And now now Zomato is taking it to a very different level, cooking food and delivering it under just 10 minutes. So the next point is, what's this whole pilot program about? So let's discuss this, and why not, Shivansh, you take up this?
Sure. So the pilot program, Zomato has recently launched a pilot program in Gurgaon because it's their home city and the startup is actually headquartered in Gurgaon. They are yet to start the pilot program, but various assembly stations around the city has already been set up. The pilot program was actually scheduled to launch on April 1st, and that surely seems like an April Fool, but sure, let's hope they started soon. But yeah, further remarks, I'm ending it with a last remark. Soranj, why don't you go with the last remarks?
All right. So, just concluding our podcast for the day, even we are a bit skeptical about it, how Zomato would be doing this, but definitely we both are very excited about how this experiment, works out for Zomato and even works out for us, because we both live in Gurgaon, and, we are really excited to experience this 10-minute food delivery thing, because definitely in my case, I cannot wait for 30-40 minutes to, just jump on the dining table and get, eat lavish food from the restaurant. So even I am waiting for this 10-minute delivery thing to as soon as start in Gurgaon for that matter. So this was the podcast for guys today, and now Shivansh would be summarizing our future plans that would be bringing to you in the coming weeks and months. So thank you so much, guys, for listening. And yeah, Shivansh, now just get on to what our future plans are.
Yeah. So summarizing the podcast was, the domain is really competitive and not that necessary as it is perceived to be. Zomato is surely taking a gamble playing this deal out, but you miss all the shots you don't take. And just like that, this is our podcast. And we are actually going to be launching multiple episodes which are covering business studies and business plans and multiple other startup and everything in the startup world. So make sure you subscribe if you are listening to us on YouTube, and make sure you follow if you are listening to us on Spotify. Thanks a lot for joining in. Thank you, Soranj. And thank you all the listeners. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. And we would be coming to your phones as soon as possible. We would be trying to upload videos, podcast every week. So don't forget to follow and subscribe us, and stay tuned. Thank you so much.
Thank you.